people, you guys are watching and or listening to another Nomadic Cole video for your guys' entertainment and education. Be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe for more epic, awesome, cool, and interesting content just like this one right here, right now on the Nomadic Cole YouTube channel. So guys, today we are going to be doing the 6th MAHA Liberty Report and political news update for you guys, and it will probably be most likely my last MAHA update video. And unfortunately, I have to say it's going to be a lot of bad news because of recent events that have happened that have pretty much been complete betrayals of everything MAHA stands for, everything that President Donald Trump and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and others in this administration had ran on in the first place. It's a complete betrayal of the American voters, and I'm not going to stand for it. So, yeah, I hope you guys will take a watch and enjoy this. Because it will probably most likely be the last one. So we're going to start off with the MAHA side since this happened a few days ago. But it is extremely important, and that's that Donald Trump has issued an executive order providing the manufacturers of glyphosate, Bayer, formerly Monsanto, but now it's Bayer, complete and total immunity for the next 5 years. RFK Jr. had spent 40 years of his career as an environmental attorney, fighting battles in courts and winning settlements against Monsanto, which produced this poisonous, cancerous chemical, glyphosate. Now, the administration has completely walked back its promises to make America healthy again through regenerative agriculture and through banning glyphosate, which RFK had promised before being appointed to the Secretary of HHS. And now they've done a 180 on that and completely flipped around, thanks to Donald Trump issuing an executive order in the name of national security, quote unquote, because apparently we need to make more phosphorus and make glyphosate here in America so that way we can continue to poison our crops and give people cancer. This is just a terrible policy, people. This is not what we voted for. This is not what I voted for. This is not what MAHA was about. MAHA was a coalition of independent and former Democrat voters, as well as libertarians like myself, who joined ranks to put aside differences to try to actually make America healthy again and make this country better and actually reform this system. Instead, we are providing immunity to these guys. It's absolutely absurd. It makes zero sense whatsoever to provide this company, Bayer, immunity from being hit with lawsuits for giving people cancer, because that's what they do. Apparently, according to Trump, if we don't have glyphosate on our crops, that we will lose food independence and have to rely more on China to control our food supply, because 97% of our corn and a lot of our wheat as well is Roundup ready and has glyphosate routinely sprayed on it. So this is just horrible. Anybody who was once part of MAHA, who was like me, really looking forward to actual change, is unfortunately getting their back stabbed by this administration. And really, it's just a complete flip-flop, a complete 180 on everything that was promised. And a lot of people, a lot of people are going to get sick, get hurt, and die by this terrible policy. Now, luckily, in the House, Thomas Massie is drafting up legislation to try to remove this immunity. But you know how things are in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, and odds are, even if it passed both, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump vetoes it. So, yeah, MAHA is not going the way of regenerative agriculture. Instead, they're going to work with Lee Zeldin to poison our food supply and continue to do so. What a shame. Next, as of this morning, the United States has officially started launching attacks on Iran with Israel. This is absolute disaster. This is a worst case scenario geopolitical event that could alter the course of history and will most likely drag us into either another forever war in the Middle East or into, worse yet, a potential World War III situation. And things are looking very bad. So US and Israeli forces have launched joint strikes on several targets in Iran, including hitting a civilian school, killing 51 little girls and injuring dozens more. And then in response to that, Iran has struck multiple USS Navy air bases and naval bases in the region, attacking bases in Bahrain, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. And they're also getting warnings as far as Saudi Arabia. Not to mention, the Israelis have also been struck as well, as hypersonic missiles have struck Tel Aviv. So this is looking very bad. This is looking very terrible. And I thought we were promised no new wars. We were supposed to be the president of peace, right? But instead of listening to intelligence from Lieutenant Colonel Tulsi Gabbard, who in March 2025 issued a statement to Congress on intelligence saying that Iran was not creating weapons of mass destruction, Donald Trump has decided to listen to Bibi Netanyahu in Israel, who, by the way, had been saying that Iran is weeks away from getting a nuclear bomb for the last 33 years, and Lindsey Graham, who's never seen a war he doesn't like because he's bought out and paid for by AIPAC and takes stocks from the military-industrial complex. And we all know why Donald Trump is doing this. He's fighting a war on behalf of Israel because his biggest donors, like AIPAC and Miriam Adelson, have pretty much bought and paid him off and have convinced him to go and try to start a regime change war in Iran. This is not good. This is not good for our soldiers. Look, my little brother serves in the armed forces, and I'm worried about his safety because this is a serious situation. This is a major outbreak of violence in the region. Luckily, as far as my knowledge goes, my little brother is supposed to be going to a different country, not Iran, as of now. However, that could all change. There could be deployments in the near future, and we'll have to wait and see what comes about of this. So far things are not looking good. This is very dangerous, potential for nuclear war. Remember, China and Russian ships are also in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has now officially closed off the Strait of Hormuz to all vessels, with the exception of Iranian and Chinese warships. And yeah, it's just a complete mess. It's a complete shit show. And a lot of people are going to suffer and die because our leaders got trigger happy. Our leaders did not listen to warnings by LTC Tulsi Gabbard, nor did they listen to warnings from Colonel Douglas McGregor, who said that we had logistical issues and would have much difficulty trying to launch war on Iran. And instead they've decided to launch an all-out war through aerial bombardment strikes. So again, very bad, very grim. It's a lot of war, a lot of poison, and unfortunately, a lot of people are probably going to die, and it's very sad, very sad. Israel has claimed that they have killed the Ayatollah. However, other sources say otherwise, and so far as I've seen, I looked online at the status of the Ayatollah, and there is no current death date for Ayatollah Khomeini. So most likely, just like their claims of WMDs, their claim that the Ayatollah has been killed is false, because the Israelis have no good intelligence whatsoever. So, and instead Donald Trump has chosen to listen to them instead of more reputable sources, and this could very well cost America. So yeah, basically, it's a very bad situation all around, and I'm sorry to say, but God help us all, and we need to pray for peace. Anyways, to wrap this up, I'm going to post a quote about this getting involved in forever wars from the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ron Paul. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
My point is if another country does to us what we do others, we're not going to like it very much. So I would say that maybe we ought to consider a golden rule in foreign policy. Don't do to other nations what we don't want to have them do to us. So we endlessly bomb these countries, and then we wonder why they get upset with us, and yet it continues on and on. I mean, this idea that we can't debate foreign policy, then all we have to do is start another war. I mean, it's warmongering. They're building up for another war against Iran, and people can't wait to get in another war. This country doesn't need another war. We need to quit the ones we're in. We need to save the money and bring our troops home.
Governor Romney.